Welcome to Monologue Mondays. As me, Marcus Woods, and I'm glad you all are here. Thank you all for your patience. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited about my guests and this. We met doing Monologue Mondays. That's the beautiful part. People won't believe this. This is our first time actually being together in person. Everything else has either been a phone call or on social media, which is crazy. But and we got some things in the work, but I'll get into that in a minute. But before I just bring in my guest, Barton, I want you all to check out this clip from a movie that he wrote and that he directed as well. And he also has his beautiful self in there. So check this out.
Glenda.
Glenda? Who's texting?
Pete.
What'd you tell him?
Nothing yet.
I could really use some sleep.
Don't drink then.
Just the one glass.
I've got to save the rest of that case for tomorrow.
Yeah. People really shouldn't drink at these things.
Check that out, man. That is Barton, and here he is. This is the guy, the man, the myth, the legend. Barton, man, it's good to see you, man. So tell us, man, a little bit about that clip, about that film.
Okay, so what you just saw was from Glenda. That is my short film that I made. We shot in 2017.
Okay.
But then
okay.
I always wanted to see it in black and white.
Got
so
you.
I redid the
mastered
whole thing.
it, so to speak.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I was looking at like the old, like I love the like Italian and French like new wave films of the early 60s that have this really amazing black and white contrast difference. And so I was really carried away with that. And I always wanted to see the movie that way.
Yeah.
But we shot it in color, and I liked that. So what we just saw was, it was Tom and Liz. They've just lost their best friend, Glenda, who lived in their house, was a roommate. And we had an amazing house to shoot in. We had a huge, modern, cool... The house, the location itself is kind of one of the best parts of it.
Okay.
And we did this short film that's about 30 minutes long, and we thought it was really funny, but I guess a lot of people have been like, it's about death, and it's about, like, it's not all that funny, but I think that there are a lot of funny, I think some of the funniest things happen at the edge of despair, and so
it's true.
It was the first time I got to try out this style, and it was the first time that I got to work on something like this with Jennifer Jelsima, who is my just great creative partner. And since I started working with her, it's been this amazing creative experience for both of us.
So let me ask you, because a lot of people don't know, because they think a short film is like you shoot it and it's over and then it's up. Like, how long did it take you to film, like the production?
About 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
In total. And then pre-production, we had to put the time into developing. Jennifer and I talked a lot as we went along. We had one good day of rehearsal, where we actually had a friend who played Glenda, but who doesn't appear in the film. Glenda is the title character, but doesn't appear in the film. But we had a friend who came in to actually be an actress who supplied the character. She did improvised backstory with us.
Really? Like, so before each scene or whatever?
No, just on this one day of rehearsal. We had one day to rehearse, one 3-hour session.
It kind of gave you guys like a memory of her to work off of. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
different. Now we could see her. Now we could, and we also photographed her, and she's the Glenda in the picture.
Okay.
That you see.
That's kind of cool. I never heard nobody do anything like that.
Then she was not a mystery anymore. Because
Okay,
up till that point she had been, and now we're like, whoa,
she has a
we think
face,
we're
she's a
different.
person.
Yeah. Because she has to actually have an entity, even though she's not there. So the film is full of these moments where there's just a space there, or there's something that she has left behind, including like a glass of wine with her lipstick print on it.
Wow. Okay. So I like this. I like this that you done this, and we can see this where.
So if you go onto YouTube, you can find it, but also glendamovie.com.
Okay,
glendamovie.com. And you'll see the color version, and then that black and white version. I guess that was an exclusive that we just had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all see that?
So
an exclusive.
because that's on its way. The black and white version is just something I wanted to do about 5 years after I was done with it, and then I wanted to see it in this way.
Gotcha.
So it mixes black and white and color.
Awesome, man. Let me. So with short films, people don't know short films are still very powerful, and they're still very good productions and things to do. Like people are winning Oscars for short films.
Yeah.
So do you think that we're steering away from them, or we're going back to them? Like,
no, we're in a great time for short films.
Yeah,
because I think that I've seen actually. Well, what I'm now getting towards now is the short form entertainment, which I'm very intrigued by.
Okay.
Like I think that people are spending more time on a small screen watching a tutorial on learning something.
Yeah.
Or, but I've seen a few examples, just a few, of dramatic material that could actually belong in and now it's a vertical format. So that's one difference. And younger people are very used to that.
Yeah, you're watching the reels and all that stuff.
You and I are, we think that art is this format.
Right.
But this is like, what is this?
It's a thing now. It's absolutely a thing. You see people doing it with reels and on TikTok and all these different. Like even people like story time on TikTok, and they'll sit there and hold their phone and watch 3 or 4 or 6 different episodes of whatever this person is talking about. So there is, and we're gonna get into that because I know you got some fun things coming up with that. I want to hit you with a couple questions.
Sure.
So don't be afraid. We're not gonna because I want the people to know more about you.
Sure.
And like I said earlier, I met Barton. He would come on as an actor, and he would do a monologue just about every Monday or every other Monday.
For a little while I was. I had to step back. I had to be like, some other people need to turn.
And no, forget that. You were great.
Thank you.
No, but even to the point where I would tell Barton, I said, my god brother, he would watch the live, the repost, you watch it, and he would say, "Where's Barton? I really like Barton. I didn't see a monologue from Barton today." And I was just like, I had to tell you, like, my god brother enjoys what you do, and the discussions that we had on there, and the monologues that you would do on there were so good. And I was like, hey, Barton's got to make it on the show at some point, man. Thank you for coming.
My
but
pleasure.
I want people to know more and more about you. So Barton has been in the game, y'all, for 30 years, okay? He's not new to this. He's true to it, as they say. So he's been doing this for a very long time. So, Barton, this is my question to you. With over 30 years in the game, from Shakespeare to motion capture, which we're going to talk about, what was the moment in your career that completely changed the way you approached acting?
Okay. It's more recent.
Okay.
So because I had to have, I have had inspirational things that happened along the way, but they got me so far. It's like, this was inspiring to get me to this point.
Yeah.
Then what? And then a few years ago, I had not acted since before the pandemic. It was really a longest break that I'd ever had. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know what acting was anymore. I was like really concerned about this.
Yeah.
And then there was a production of Romeo and Juliet going on at Royal Shakespeare, Shakespeare Royal Oak.
Okay.
The Royal. And they've become one of the best and biggest outdoor Shakespeare companies in the country. And I've worked with them as a director. Mm-hmm. And they called me because 2 of their cast members in Romeo and Juliet had gotten sick with COVID, and they were mid-run. They had to replace somebody midway through.
Yeah.
And it was Juliet's father, Lord Capulet. And I've never been asked to play an old man role like that before.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought I was a Romeo going into, and not anymore. Yeah,
he thought he was gonna get the Romeo. Yeah, right. Why y'all play my boy like that?
I went into COVID as Romeo, and I came out as Juliet's father. So
wow.
So anyway, and they did this kind of like Mad Max Road Warrior concept with it. So they kept throwing these challenges at me, like, you've got to be shirtless, you've got to do all these things, and I had 4 days before I had to go on, and so I learned it.
4 days?
Yeah.
Shakespeare?
Well, they said I can go on, and in some scenes I was able to go on with a script that was in my hand.
Okay, sweet.
But nobody realized that, I guess.
Okay.
I managed to fake enough people out.
Awesome.
Because we were far enough from the. So, but still, I worked at it, and it was during that time that I developed this new preparation technique, which we can talk about if you want.
Yeah,
how I prepare now versus, I don't know if I even prepared it's like I didn't even prepare at all before. Like, I'm a different actor now. I think I got into acting for different reasons than what I ended up with.
That happens when you're in it for the long haul, when you're in it for and which is a part of the what we're talking about today, being in it, acting for the long game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're here talking about. And so it does switch up. So in that, even with the preparation and everything like that, what was that? So was it the Shakespeare moment?
So it's just this moment happened on stage where I had a complete breakthrough, unlike anything I'd ever had, because I don't really consider myself, like, I never actually considered myself an actor. I thought that acting was like this extension of filmmaking and other entertainment. It's just one of the things that I like doing. But then suddenly I'm on stage. Juliet, it's the day of her wedding, and she's supposed to wake up and be married that day, but she doesn't get up. She's dead.
Right.
Not really. I mean, of course but I don't know that.
If you know, right, you're right.
And of course, I, as a father, boy, this couldn't be any more terrifying to me. Like, I'm playing out my worst fear, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what came over me, because we only had one rehearsal, really, and that was just like a blocking rehearsal.
Yeah.
So I was just really thrown into the production, and so it was like being in an escape room or something like that. It's just like there was no time to think. It was just on. And so I was so in the moment. I've never been that in the moment before. But I just started howling and crying,
Yeah.
Man. I was like, and so I go and I pick up my daughter, and I hold her in my arms, and I'm just, like, the tears rolled, and I could not stop myself from, like, sobbing and then
You were in it.
Yeah, and so then we segued, so I carry her down the stairs, and we segue into the funeral scene as a cool transition, and so several minutes are going by, and I set her down on and again, like, I didn't rehearse with these people prior, and so all of this was a complete surprise. Now, I've been with this company for a while, so they're a little, I'm a little, I understand, I know some of these plays pretty well, too, so it wasn't a big deal that I didn't have any rehearsal. But I set my daughter down, and then I look up, and they've staged this. They brought in the ghost of my nephew, Tybalt, who'd just been killed, too.
Yeah.
And I look up at him, and I'm like, I'm crying so hard. And I told my Lady Capulet, my wife, ahead of time, I'm like, this is going to be a little hard for me. So I'll be all right, but just when you get up to leave the scene, just take me with you.
Yeah.
And I'll go. I will. I'm not going to fight you, but I'm not going to know when to go until you go.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm screaming I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Is that and it was okay, because that's what
it worked. Yeah,
they wanted to let me do that.
Oh, I love those moments.
So I literally,
yeah.
I had I was wearing these gloves. I'm wearing this, like, weird S&M, like, leather strapped up thing. Okay. And I'm just screaming into my hand, just like, just screaming at like and everything came together. There was no division between me and him anymore. My body was his.
Yeah.
So she did. Lady Capulet just did tap me. And we walked out together, and then I had to just, and then I said thank you. And I just kept walking for about another minute into the woods right there. And thinking about it really, like, shakes me up just still to this day. That minute walking was fine. I could come back through, and as the night went on, and as the next shows happened, I was inside out. I felt all the realizations of a real human being, not a character. And I've known this play since high school.
So that moment, the moment that you had on stage that night, it carried over into the next shows, and
it kept happening.
You were the character. You were him. You were him, and he was you.
Like, if I'd have done it for 8 more months, I would have gone deeper and deeper with it.
Have you had a moment since then like that?
No, I haven't quite had an opportunity to do a thing like that. This was 2022, and I hadn't done a big stage role like that since then.
Okay.
But and I was kind of, like, busy working on a documentary, and I kind of put myself into that, back into that. As soon as that 4 days was done, as soon as that week of time was done, but during that time, I had immersed. I had done this, but I created a very disciplined kind of, like, prep.
Okay.
That I could go back to and use again. So even though I'd never had an experience like this before, now I feel like I've got an apparatus for I can do this again within this format. I can work like this.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful thing, man. I'm glad it sparked, like, just the love again, or I don't want to say I don't want to say the love again.
It was that.
Was
the
it that?
Love,
Okay.
The love was almost gone for me
Really?
for theater.
Because I heard you talking about COVID, and I talked about it on this show before about how COVID even had me slightly depressed because I didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? We couldn't do what we wanted to do.
Changed.
That was our thing. That was our thing. You know what I mean? It was therapeutic. It was artistic. It was everything. But then COVID shows up. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, what am I supposed to do with all this stuff? So just to hear how you came out of that into that moment is such a beautiful moment.
And seriously, the time of that was a dark time, but it was a year after that like the opportunities were few during those years. You know, I mean, production was
very.
but it just felt like the diligence that those of us who put in diligent time during the COVID years and remained focused somehow. As soon as I wanted to start working again, as soon as the next opportunity came.
Yeah,
that was my whole thing. Was just like stay at it, so that no matter what, I'll be ready.
Man.
It was, and those opportunities were. I mean, that's how the Tom Hanks movie came along, and that's how
all the other
good things happened.
Yeah, and I want to talk about those things too.
That was that was a disappointment experience that I can talk about.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, tell us what happened.
Okay, so I get cast in A Man Called Otto, which is this movie, and I can now talk about it. I couldn't talk about this I have not talked about this really at all.
Really?
No, I've only told the story to a few friends.
Oh, so this is the first time.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
This is the first time, guys. Be nice. Okay, go ahead. I gotta get them.
It could happen to you. This story, like this. So I got the audition that week, and everything happened so fast that I didn't have time to think, and so they had me submit a few lines as this doctor, and then they called me back, and then that Friday they said, "Can you be on at 5:00 today for a Zoom?" And I got on that day with Mark Forster, the director, and Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks's wife, who was the producer on that, and they are the loveliest. The thing I found when I got to that level of that studio level with the best, these are the best people Mark Forster, and I came to really love as a director too. And Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and everybody else who's involved with this, and the piece of work too. It's based on this great book.
Yeah.
My daughter and I was the last book. She's a little older now, and my youngest, and that was the last book that we read together.
Wow.
A Man Called Otto. We cried, and we related to him, and we
wow.
had this whole. So I was so prepped when I arrived.
It meant more to you than just a role. It was
and so
deeper.
when I arrived, I was so in it, and they had no lines for me or anything like that. But I was playing this doctor role, and my audition for it, they had me just improvise it. So they said, well, you've got to break this bad news to Otto about this has happened, and then this has happened, and you're going to have to be the doctor. And I had trained as a doctor, though.
Yeah.
I had trained doctors. I'm an actor who has done that acting job where you pretend to be the patient.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And you help train at the medical school.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, okay.
So I knew that doctors come in and they break it to you. Mm-hmm. And so I just said, your wife has suffered a very, very serious injury to her neck and her spine, and she will never walk again. Yeah. And I knew that I had to be deliberate like that. You can't beat around the bush. Yeah. So they just let me go like that for just going like 4 or 5 minutes.
Man, let me tell you something,
Zoom.
because I want to hear the rest of the story. But as an actor, if they tell you to improv, to me, that's like, thank you. Because it's like I get to pull out all of this stuff that I be sitting at home with and want to try. And so they open, that's like free game. Like, enjoy yourself. That's what the best thing they could have essentially done. Enjoy yourself and do this role.
But then they were writing it. So I got there and so Tom Hanks was famously, he had COVID.
Yeah.
And when he was filming in Australia.
That's what I thought he was stuck in Australia. Him and his wife were both. Yeah.
Well, and his son Truman, whom I got to know that day, and whom I was with in the scene because he was playing the young Otto. And so Truman filled me in on all this. He made me, and I felt like they are so nice, that those people, that it's just like hanging out with like good friends. And so Truman is a great young guy, and I was sort of assigned to him in a way. I get assigned to actors to help kind of keep an eye on them sometimes.
Okay.
I guess. I'm a support person most of the time. In movies, that's all I can hope to be, I think. I'm never going to be a big name.
We don't know. You could. I'm just saying you never know, because we are so many people that later in their career.
My passion and my ambition is huge. But you know what I really hope for, though, is just that I can experience this collective joy of being on a thing like that and have that dope experience that it was, and learn from the director, Mark Forster, who told me, just the perfect things. He knew exactly what to tell me.
Yeah.
Just how fast to speak, a little more of this, a little more of that. He got me to the right pace, and he said, that's perfect.
So what happened, man? Because it sounded like you were in it.
Yeah, well, the scene got cut. I was all the way in L.A. At this cast and crew opening night.
Yeah.
So me and all the cast and crew, and it's a whole bunch of like really great young up-and-coming actors in there. Like Mac Beta is in it, and there are a bunch of very funny people who are playing sort of the satellite characters of this film, but no real names at the time. And so it had this really excitement around it. And I got there, and I was sitting with my dear friend Robin Johnson, who played the nurse in the scene. We bonded throughout, and we were like, we're gonna look out for each other.
Yeah.
And so she and I, we shot the scene. We had this amazing experience. They cut us that day. Within the same year, within 2023, they released the film. About 9 months later. And we're there at this opening, and I remember the moment where our scene is coming up, and I'm like, here goes. And the scene was not there. So it was a flashback scene. Now, I've been cut from stuff before. I have felt this. I have lived with that disappointment more often than I can tell you. And it's unfortunate, but I was there. And so I'm like, Robin is really upset. There are a whole bunch of other actors whom it actually happened to. Now, if you talk to anybody who was in Batman versus Superman,
everybody got cut.
Everybody.
It was like everybody got, and even if you made it, it was only like a split second.
Yeah.
You know
now,
what I
the
mean?
extended edition I am in. Of that, and I'm psyched about that. I still consider that a big thing.
Yeah,
my friends are like so psyched about that. My friends think that's so cool. But anyway, I wasn't in this scene, and I didn't. The movie went on to make $100 million, and I never saw anything after that.
Yeah.
But I did ask Rita Wilson that night. She was there to talk to us, and I said, and I'd never met her, but I'm not afraid to walk up and
ask questions.
Yeah, because I was standing with Mac Beta, who plays what's the name, Alexander. Well, anyway, I had made friends with this excellent young actor, and then we were both going over to say thanks to Rita, and I just said, Rita, this was a great experience. Thank you so much. I'm not in the movie, but I still got to do this. And she said, "Oh, this is Rita Wilson, whom I hold in. She's created Mamma Mia, and as we know it, and like, and she's a phenomenal producer and a good person, and this is what she does, and this was good enough for me." She says, "Oh, you were in the movie 3 days ago, and we had to cut it for time. I'm so sorry, but I really liked your scene, and I liked you. I'm really, really sorry. We had to get it down to 2 hours." Because a movie because they wanted to show as many showtimes in a day as they could with the theatrical release.
Right.
That was the nature of this movie, so I'm not in it.
You know what I love about this story? Well, sorry.
It's a great story.
Because I've got my fair share of stories where they cut me, or I booked something, and you're getting ready to go, and they're like, they switched it up. Yeah. It happens. But what I love is that you're not the only actor that's sat in this chair and said this. So I want all y'all to know, like, you're gonna lose some. You're gonna cross the finish line, and they're gonna go back and say those steps didn't count. Like, you get what I'm saying?
You're not in control of it.
You're not in control. So all you can do is be your best, put your best work out there. I love the way you handled it. You went to her and said, "Thank you for the experience."
Yeah.
Most people would have cried their hearts out.
People were pissed
They would have, that'd have been the end of their career. God forbid they would have harmed themselves. Like, some people can't take that.
I realized that this was an audition for something else.
Come on.
And let's say that I didn't get this moment in this movie where I get to go and I get to do this. This was the audition. Yeah. This was not the big thing.
Because you don't know who's going to reach back out and say, "Remember that guy? Remember Barton? Remember how he was not only as a professional actor, but as a person."
I'm not a new face to them anymore.
Come on.
And so at least I can now. Okay, there's an entire podcast called Dead Eyes. Dead Eyes, about a guy who goes through the almost. He got into a Tom Hanks movie. Yeah. He was in Band of Brothers.
Okay.
But then he wasn't. And so he went through the whole, and he made a podcast out of it. And somebody recommended I listen, and I listened to about 5 minutes. I'm like, I've been living this.
I don't even hear this.
Yeah, I've been. So yeah, the unfortunately, the road to greatness is paved with so many of those small disappointments.
Yeah.
Am I going to look at that and say this is like some tragedy? This is the end of it? Am I going to be all pissed off and why did I come all the way out to L.A.?
But you know what people don't understand is it's the journey. I'd say this to people, and I know it sounds cliche, and every guru and celebrity, whatever, has said it, but it's literally the journey. It's what you learn along the way. It's who you become along the way. And to see that, and then to see where you are now as a writer and director and producer, all these good things, man, I'm super excited. I got more questions, but I'm super excited about what's coming up.
So that
next
worked
for you.
out. So that was if I'm gonna be disappointed because I'm not in this one movie, that's not. So what?
Yeah.
Who cares if that one thing didn't
You had
work
the
out?
experience.
It was incredible. And you know what I know now that I can pass along to other, that I can use? Look at what that director was doing.
Yeah.
So he was, I got to learn directing from Mark Forster. And I've gotten to learn it from David Fincher and Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Even if I get cut from their movies too.
Yeah. But
So
you're learning, you're gaining, and you just never know what that moment leads to. And I know what you said. I know you have big ambitions and you just want to see everybody. But Barton, here on this show, you're gonna continue to be great. You know what I mean? And you're gonna get that big opportunity. I just believe that about you. And we've had this kind of bond since we met. So
We both believe in the seriousness. We're both really serious about it.
we love what we do, and you should. I know what's going on around in the independent film and all this stuff, but at some point, somebody's got to stand up and say, "Hey, I really love this. I don't want to just be famous on social media.
Yeah.
I don't want to just get my followers up."
This is everything.
Yes.
No, it's not the most important thing in my life.
No,
it is
but
not.
it's not. But it's everything.
I go all in on it.
'Cause we love it.
That experience of being on stage and being, so I now have this mantra, I guess, and this is the thing that I teach to people. It's like, this is what I really believe about it. This is how deep it goes. And theater for me is almost holy. It's almost like a sacred act.
Yeah.
Now making a feature film is almost that level of seriousness.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not holy and that I don't, you're never going to feel that way about a commercial. You're not going to feel that way. I'm sorry. You're just
the
not.
commercial. Let's be honest. The commercial is for the check in and get you out there a little bit. Let's just be
beautiful.
real.
I love doing commercials, but like I say this now, I'm just like, when I am out in front of that camera, and this is this mantra that I say, if I'm out there, I'm in front of the camera or I'm in front of an audience, I will give you, in that moment, I give you all my life, everything.
Yeah.
And I will shed my skin completely up there.
Yeah.
And that's the ritual I'm going to perform. And when it's done, there ain't nothing like it. And I think that people don't realize acting is one of the highest human experiences I can think of. It's better than most
Professions.
A lot of things. Yeah. So it just, the experience of being up there is something that you can never know unless you
get up, and you gotta love it though, because there's a lot of people that get up and do it, but they don't love it. You know what I mean? And so you can still be an actor, but if it transcends to other levels and different things, you gotta have a passion for it. You gotta love it when it ain't fun. You gotta love it when it's fun. You gotta love it when you're the guy
don't love
or not
it,
the
and
guy.
they do it anyway. It shows. Like there's nothing in it. They really do. Just it's sort of, and those performances nobody's gonna notice.
Yeah. And
they won't be
terrible.
bad.
It won't be
but it just won't matter.
It just won't matter. You'll be just as good as the tree that you walk past in that scene. Like, you know what I mean?
You're the same as that.
Yeah.
But it won't be able to transcend anything. It won't be unforgettable for anybody else if it was nothing to you.
Absolutely. Let me get some more of these questions into you, man. My next question is, you've worked across so many different platforms. Just to name a few: Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. And as a director and educator, so how do you stay creatively fueled without burning out?
Okay, I think you need to have more than one project going at once.
Okay.
Is one thing, because you have the immediate thing that you're working on that's in the short term, but you do have to have that other thing. And so when one is done, or when one is not going so great, you still are fueled by the energy of the other one.
Nice, yeah.
And I also, I just, I have good friends and collaborators whom, we do this for each other, really. We keep each other up, because there are plenty of times where, I get concerned. I start to despair and wonder, like, if it's a good idea or not.
Yep.
But I have Jennifer Jelsema. I have friends that I go to, and we talk in real ways about it. And I guess, yeah, I stay creatively involved because my life is full too. Yeah. I have I'm a proud parent, and I have friendships and I have relationships with my parents, and I have the chaos of life to feed into everything and to keep this thing that we do feeling very real and like truthful.
Yeah,
because I can check it against real life.
See, I'm glad you said that, because like I think you made the statement earlier where you said the acting is not the most important thing in your life, but it's important. It's not the most, but it's
one of the
important.
best.
But you have to have something else to pull from. It's just like a musician or a singer or a rapper. They need real life to pull from. You know what I mean?
I'm
so that
learning
means you have
all
to
the time too. I'm like learning new stuff.
and see.
Constantly.
And I was going to ask you that as an educator, how important learning is, because that's also important, and life teaches you that. I'm sure your kids, as a father, have shown you some things about life that you thought you kind of understood, or something that you never even knew, or even knew about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you learn that, and you walk that into a character. You get what I'm saying? Like, it fuels that.
And being a parent, I will say this: being a parent changed me as an actor too, because my life means a lot more than just my personal feelings about things. It's like so and I noticed that I wasn't able to cry or have these deep, passionate, real passions like that, because passion's sort of like a passion without a real, genuine object is meaningless. And so you could be playing a role that is very, very full of bombast, but you might be playing a lot of big emotions around something that isn't even true at all. The material might not even be that.
You're right.
And I've noticed that about, I'm like, wow, these people are really giving everything to this, but like, what are we getting at here?
Yeah.
So, but the experience is all, and I guess the I keep reading. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking at getting a doctorate,
Okay.
PhD,
Sweet.
in media studies.
I like that we're getting all this stuff fresh. I don't know if he's told anybody else, but I feel like we get
No,
all this.
a lot of these things I haven't, but like, yeah, I don't really go wide with any information until something is underway. But this is something I'm proud to say. I'm like working on a doctorate.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's just taking it to another level. And since we keep getting fresh things from you, there's another project that you got on the table that you're working, that I believe is post-production or pre-production, I should say. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. Tell us more about The Time Away. What inspired the story and all the good stuff that goes with it, man.
So Time Away, excuse me, started writing in November. I got it done. I got my first draft done in November of last year, because November was a very stressful time, and I went into this weird mode. Like, I just went into this, like, I just focused and I figured out everything. Now, prior to what you have read, because Marcus has been cast as the time traveler, Charlie, prior to what you had read, that wasn't there. I had written myself this cool role. I'd started writing this cool role of this cool doctor who, like, he's a physicist and he works on time and he's just a magical guy. And he has this great wife. Like, I was just thinking of Jennifer for, like, she's a wife, but she didn't even have a name at this point.
You're right.
And I was like, it's going to be a love triangle, and it's going to be, and it's all this. It's all for this format.
Okay.
So Jennifer and I were looking for a series that would play on this. So
Nice.
we developed a whole bunch of different ideas,
Yeah.
all of it within my own fictional world. That I started. I don't write within this world that we live in. I made my own.
I love it.
Because I didn't know how to. Again, during pandemic, I hit a writer's block, which was, I usually don't get that kind of thing. Writer's block is, I shift to another thing, but now I'm like, what is the world? So I created an imaginary world. Nice. And Time Away is the introduction to my fictional world. I've written some other things for it, some feature ideas, and yet I know I needed to start out with a project like this. It's a short form, but I'm taking it straight to Instagram. Why bother with anything else? Just take it straight to the HBO of social media.
Yeah. Why not? No, that is brilliant, man. That's brilliant that you're doing it, and I knew it obviously because I'm casting it, but just to have, even when you talk to me about it and talk to my manager and everything, you talk to all us about it, but it's just the way that you were explaining it. I was like, this is different.
Oh, dude,
and
it
I
is.
like, if you know Marcus Woods, you can go check my IMDb, my resume. I hate doing the same thing as an actor.
Yeah, me too.
I love switching it up. So it's always something different. So when you brought this idea, and I was just like, oh yeah.
Well, this was cool. As soon as I stepped out of the role of the doctor, and I gave that role to Jennifer, I said, wouldn't she be more interesting doing that? Suddenly, it is weird. The other characters magically appeared.
Wow.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Justin Main as Jep, this hillbilly time traveler who's just stumbling through back and forth in time, and he's naked, poor man. Like he appeared. He literally like fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
So as soon as I took my own self out of this and repositioned myself, I gave myself another role. I'm now playing 2 roles of the rich guy and his clone, his secret second guy who he keeps around to help him out. And then your character Charlie appeared out of nowhere, and so many other things came after that. Like around the character of Charlie developed all these other things, and so we're in the 1880s. We're in a period drama.
Yeah.
We're in the time of like post-Civil War in America, which is not very well known. I don't think that people really know a lot about what life was like during that time. But science was like exploding. And so I had this cool character of Dr. Young, who's basically like, if you know of her, this whole story of Time Away, which is going to be, we have a first season we're going to shoot in the fall.
Okay, so it's a series.
It's a series.
Okay.
With short episodes of 2 to 3 minutes.
Nice.
And so you follow it piece by piece, and you'll just flick through to the next one. They'll all land at once, and you'll flick on through. We do visual effects along with it, and this is one of the things I like doing, which is some of the simplest kinds of visual effects. They're not like the CGI creations.
Okay.
So we don't have objects in here that aren't. Everything you're seeing in front of you has been made by hand for real.
Wow.
So all of we have a wall. We have a big wall between this world and the next.
Yeah.
And that is a handmade model. That crystal wall thing.
Yeah.
There's a pop-up house, a house that actually pops up like that. And that's handmade.
Yeah.
And so there are all these little things. There's a watch that melts. The doctor's little pocket watch, it melts in her hand.
Is that's CG? That's CGI?
No, that's a
what?
It's a practical model.
That's amazing.
And so we use so I made a pocket watch, and well, actually everybody gets one, and they all melt. So there's so many weird time things happening around that. So you'll pull out your watch, and it's this floppy thing that flops right over, and it's part of our world.
Wow, this is good.
I'm excited about it because it's a way of me trying out these things that I've wanted to do, these fantastical kinds of this kind of filmmaking. Yeah. Plus, I found this location, Hollywood Farmstead, which is unlocked all these possibilities because they have the green screen studio and they have the natural environment.
Shout out Hollywood Farmstead.
You guys. Well, they are a family, man. We're tight over there, and there's such a vision behind what Joe is doing, and that place has been open a year. It's going to be it's my artistic home. I love it there.
Yeah.
And so Time Away, it's really just 5 actors, who make up this whole first story. Okay. So we're there as this tight unit.
So let me ask. So, because I know it's still, for lack of better words, in its infancy, but do you think it lives there on social media, or are you eventually, if it picks up and people love it, does it turn into a series that we see on whatever platform?
Very likely.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is also like, my ambitions are not just to stay on. I'd love to move up to the next size screen next and go from this vertical to this shape.
Right,
I like this one too. I like them both.
Right.
Well, this is art. We all think that, but this is like anything goes.
Anything
baby,
goes.
like
your world.
Yeah, but so we're shooting in this format. So we literally turn the camera on its side, and I'm learning how to work with this instead of this.
Yeah.
And that's another strange, unusual thing about this process that we're learning. But I feel like what I wrote, and there are a lot of changes coming. The next draft you're going to see is I've changed the ending.
Oh, wow.
There's a different aspect to your character.
I'm learning everything new today.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. It's good.
But the new ending that we've got, I think you get to explore a whole different side of your character because these time travelers, there's a philosophy of time that you can read about, which Einstein and his theories have a sort of there's another side of it in philosophy. What do you believe about time?
Yeah.
So one of the ideas is that time travelers are actually the people who go into history and change things. Wow. They actually go and make
history. They rearrange history.
Yeah, they do because they have a consciousness of the future. And so it is them, these simple people.
That reminds me of a Quantum Leap, right?
Yeah.
That gives me that kind of feel.
So if we were in Quantum Leap, they have one method of time travel.
Right.
That this guy can inhabit the consciousness of a person. We use that. We have that one method. But Charlie has presumably come from the future via machine. And then Jep, he just hops in time via interruptions in time waves.
Okay. I'm excited about
Trust me.
Justin Main's character. I'm excited about this.
Justin is just losing his mind in this character too. Like this is, I was so, when he said yes and he went wild with it, that you're going to see an actor hold back nothing. He goes all the way.
I love it.
Already.
I love
He gets, so it already, I heard it read, that gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, oh yeah. So I got Jennifer and Justin together a little bit to hear them and to hear Jorg Kasorgas, who's playing the time consciousness, and to hear everybody and realize, wow, we got something.
I want to tell the viewers, like, don't be afraid to step out and try something different. Like what we're doing with Time Away and time travel and all these different things. It's okay to try. Like if you're creative and you got all these different ideas as an actor, as a filmmaker, like go ahead and step outside the box, and whatever that box is, whoever created the box, step outside of that box and try something new, because what you have here is something amazing and it's different and it's beautiful, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm glad that the world is ready.
Be unique with your ideas and be detailed.
Yes.
I guess is what I would say.
Yeah.
It's like if you think really, really hard that like I want to. This is what I believe. If you don't do something completely original, too many people are going to be associating it with something else within the genre. Yeah. And so many people see a genre and they're like, I want to do that. And so their film might resemble. I mean, you can watch some people's films and you're like, well, I can guess what their favorite films are.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, okay, this has got to. If I want to really show what I do now and my style now, I have to. Like, I'm scared. What scares me is the creative risk that we're taking. Yeah. Is like, but
which I think it should. I think when
should.
you're doing something different and something new, it should scare you a little bit. It should, because if uncomfortability makes you move.
It made me cast great actors. I have confidence in them. The words are sounding like I wanted. You know, they're emotional. They're getting into it. They're filling in the blanks. So because now the world is a little crazy right now. Production is really, really difficult at this moment. Yeah. So one of the things that we did was postpone.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was another thing, and I'm really, really glad with that decision, because
so you can prep a little better, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we'd be in the hot heat right now, shooting, getting
you.
ready. I'm sorry.
No, I
Nobody
appreciate
minds.
you,
Nobody minds.
I'm always hot, so I can't wait to shoot everything in the fall and winter. Yeah,
yeah, you'll be much more comfortable, especially in the top coat and the top hat.
See, I'd have been like break or makeup, like he's shining again. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're shooting outdoors too, which is like, so man, it's just like I look forward to it, and I also, when I knew that you were doing it, I'm like, oh wow, okay. So then I also like it that deepened it for me, and I made the changes in there that and I'm continuing to make those changes. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I have Marcus, I have Justin, I have Jennifer. These are some great actors. I can, now that I know I have them. This has been the case with Jennifer. She's so tremendous that working with her felt like I could reach further than I had reached before. Yeah. So suddenly I could write the way that I wanted to write. I could write something that's as complicated as can be, and she does these vocal gymnastics, so she can really, really say these things like they make sense.
That's so cool, man. I'm so excited, and I hope y'all enjoying everything that Barton is talking about and all these good things, because I get excited when people are passionate. I get excited when people are detailed, and and when they love it, and they absolutely love it. And I really feel that with you, Barton, and sitting here with you in person for the very first, which is crazy.
No, we met at your acting class. We met at your
class.
I
forgot. You did. I forgot. He came to my acting class.
Yeah.
You really did. And you brought people with you.
Yeah, my kids came with me.
Yes. Yeah. And
we loved it.
And they did Shakespeare. I was like, I think it was
They both did.
They both did Shakespeare, yeah. And I was like, "You're doing Shakespeare."
And I didn't know what they were doing. They prepped that on their own. My
really?
kids still. I don't work with my kids as an acting coach.
They stepped out so confidently with this Shakespeare, and I'm just looking like, well, what am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they were so good. They were.
You need to do Shakespeare.
I need to do Shakespeare. I would do an Othello. I would give it a shot. I'll give it.
Look at it. Have you read it?
It's been a minute, because you know how you go through these things and you're like, I said, I got to go through it, learn it, get through it, so I don't ever got to see it. It's almost like parallel parking for me.
Yeah.
I learned it, I got it, I don't need to rehearse it no more.
But
I'm just going to pull in the parking
You may
spot
like
now.
it better than when you read it last. Like, the words are the same, but you may... Othello's a complicated role, and you may like other characters better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, see, now you're going to make me dive back in.
No, because Othello is fine, but that's not your only choice by any means.
Right,
but
right.
I think because we've been talking about Denzel doing it and
Yeah.
everything, you might be curious as to, but you'd be picking up the same map that he had, the same plan, and you may. Too many people watch Denzel or another great actor that they admire, and they tend to act like they do.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to
so
be
true.
careful about that.
You got to, because nobody wants to. Denzel is Denzel. Nobody can copy Denzel.
But so many people try.
And it's so bad. It's so, just be you. It's so,
We
it's
have
so
Robert.
bad.
I wanted to be Robert De Niro. Like, even as a kid, and so I was like, as a 10-year-old kid, I was like, it's like this De Niro kind of
approach
thing
to
that I was
everything.
doing. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's
Wow.
funny. It's funny, but you must try it because
Okay,
it'll be the best material you ever work with in your life.
I will never run from anything. I will always look into it and see. And
It'll make you a different kind of actor.
see, I'm there. I'm
Yeah,
there.
you'll like the process.
So I want to give these tips out to these people really quick, and you can piggyback on any of these tips. I got 3, maybe a possible 4. We'll see. Peaches, don't be mad at me. Okay, here we go. So we want to talk about self-tapes because I always talk about self-tapes. People always in my inbox and my DMs talking about self-tapes. So I want to help you guys out a little bit with self-tapes. This is really what I want to call my audition adjustment series, where I'm going to give, for the next few episodes, just some tips on self-taping and how to adjust your audition a little bit.
Thank you.
And then even possibly when you're doing it for stage as well. So the first thing I got here is raise the stakes. Don't just say the lines. All right, fight for something. Show what your character's words, what they mean, what they really want, what their words mean. What's their desperation? You know what I'm saying? And then it also, I got here, higher emotional investment equals higher believability. And so the reason I say that is, like, nobody wants to hear anybody recite lines. You can tell. Let me say it like this: nobody wants to see acting. We come to see a real life experience. Mm-hmm. We want to believe that for that moment, that you're that cowboy hopping around in time, and this is your real thing, and you actually hop around in time and you're crazy. And the last thing I want to see is you trying to be a De Niro as a cowboy. You hopping around in space and reciting lines with a De Niro face and voice. You get what it's the. Don't do it. Make it important. Raise the stake. What does this character want? I feel sometimes when I say this, I feel like I'm like a broken record, like I'm repeating the same thing, but I'm getting the same questions.
It's always true.
It's the truth.
It's never
yeah.
not true, and it's also a thing that you should reset and do and check in with again each time.
Yep.
You know, it's not like it's just something that you understand. You have to reiterate it to yourself.
Yes. It's like any sport, anything that you do, repetition, and then like you said, then after you got it and you figured it out, there's another level. You can figure out, you can reset and find something else and find a new ways to approach. Okay, what does this character? How do I raise the stakes? How desperate are they? You know what I mean? Are they not that desperate? Are you playing to that? Like, it's just figure those things out, and it'll help you in your self tape. It'll really. The only reason I'm attacking self tapes now because they're not going anywhere. Most ways the auditions are self tapes. That's what happened with COVID. That was the change. If you get it in person, great. But your first introduction to that project is probably going to be a self-tape. It's probably going to be a self-tape.
Sure.
So tip number 2. Here we go. Make specific choices. Vague equals forgettable. Vague choices, safe choices. Now, I'm not saying go all out and add an accent where an accent isn't supposed to be. Like, I'm not
That's
saying
not
that.
acting,
That's not acting
That's
at
not
all.
actually, like, those characterization things. I don't think the quirks of a character are not the character.
Yes, come on.
Like those things, and plus it goes back to acting like one of your heroes. I mean, I love all these actors. I love Joaquin Phoenix and you know, and all the guys that everybody else likes. I like them, but I've seen too many people take on use one of those performances to turn around and say, well, I'm just going to stammer my way through this.
Yeah.
And show all those quirks. And instead of and meanwhile, they haven't gone to the emotional places. And you know, I mean, I'm sure that Leo and And all these guys are trying to stay as still and focused as they possibly can.
Yeah.
You know?
Whatever we're seeing is, I think, is just like the icing on the cake. The when they do kind of move out of frame or whatever. But like, you can't. First of all, the choices have to be clear. They have to be bold. You know what I mean? You have to make a clear, bold choice. And once you walk in that self-tape area or an actual audition, in-person audition, their choices have to be clear. Like, they don't want to see you, is this going to work? Or, you know, and they can see, trust me, if the casting can't see it, the camera sees it.
You don't want to jump on. As soon as you get that audition, you want to actually go and practice for a little while, not go on. I mean, I used to be like, well, this is easy. It's only one line. I'll just record right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
I never record on the first day of receiving an audition.
No.
Ever.
I would go and I would record myself that night as a practice.
Okay.
And this is one of the best tips I got. I remember Hannah Waddingham from the actress Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso. She said she gets the audition and then she records on camera right away.
Okay.
And I tried doing that, and it has turned it around. So the next day, when I'm going to actually record, I've spent that whole night. I spent about an hour on camera, even if I'm just sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
But it's within that time that I figure everything out.
See, that's amazing. See,
1 hour.
And look, you hear this? These are good tips, y'all. I love when my guests come on and they give out their methods and their ideas, because you can't pull from everybody. But I think, and I'm gonna get these other tips, but I think something you said that was really important. Like they try to be the Joaquin Phoenixes and everything like that. Don't try to be the star. Don't mimic the star. Now, if you want to mimic something, mimic their acting, their actual technique, because there's a technique that they learn to get to where they are. You know what I'm saying? So don't mimic the star. We have this problem of, I want to be the next somebody, and go do what they did. Go learn what they learned. You know what I mean? And even in that, you still got to put your own twist on it and make it your own.
But everybody can do those things. It's not like Joaquin Phoenix. He has his own thing, and he's brilliant. But it's not like that means other actors are supposed to do exactly what he's doing.
Absolutely.
He's being his natural self. Mm-hmm. You have to be you. I have to be me, and I have to trust that.
Yeah.
And I would rather be myself. There have been some times lately, I've had a couple of auditions. I had this one upsetting audition where I wasn't the type they were looking for. I knew that, and they knew that, and they were still trying to cram me into this, cram a suitcase into a, where it won't fit.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating for me, because they were even saying to me in this audition, like, well, you don't have the right look. You even, and I knew I was wrong for it, and I almost got, it's a real weird thing when you're, the way that they see you. I guess like it's hard to see yourself the way that they see you.
It's crazy. And if you don't like it, if you're a triangle trying to get into a circle, it's just not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't work.
I didn't have the object to focus on.
Yeah.
I was focusing so hard on like the fact that I wasn't looking right, and the fact I was thinking about what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if I only still had a mustache. I have a mustache now. People
it
would
would
call
work
nonstop. Yeah. If I only still had a mustache.
But it's just important, guys. Like, just don't just make a bold choice. Be clear in your choices. Number 3, active listening. This is okay. This is another one that if the line says, go over there, and the other actor is supposed to say, why over there? And you say, get over there. Well, he didn't say go over there, so I didn't listen to them in the moment. Like, when I say actively listen to your scene partner. Matter of fact, your scene partner should be more important than you anyway. We get so caught up in how do I look? What do I
focus on them?
Put the focus on them.
It'll make your job easier.
It's just like what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
I'm having a podcast with Barton. I'm interviewing him. Could you imagine you talking to me the whole time and I'm just like not just on my phone or looking over here, looking over there, and then I turn around and like, what did you say? Like,
there are a bunch of hosts who also, or maybe there are people who override the other actor and they think that they have to become that. And I think there's something in that person's life where they decided that they had to bulldoze it like that, that's the only way that it's going to work.
It's terrible. And it looks forced. It looks like, and they say, well, they have to say that. Don't get me wrong. There's certain lines in a script or that you have to say to lead to a certain part.
It ain't Shakespeare.
But it ain't Shakespeare.
It ain't to be or not to be.
You know what I'm saying?
You can live without it.
You can live without it. But if you're listening and you're listening to them in that moment, and I'm saying this for your self-tape because you're going to have a reader on the other side of that self-tape. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to, whoever your reader is, be it a family member or another actor or some reader just that's there in during casting, you have to make them important. You have to listen to what they're saying so you can properly react. Because that's a lot of what acting is, if not most, is reacting. You know, truthfully reacting. How can you do that if you're not actively listening?
You really have to understand the relationship between you and the other person in the scene and think about that, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, ask yourself, what are the details of their relationship? Do they communicate? Is there a secretness? Is there a softness? Is there a way of speaking that what's the relationship between you and the other person? And if you can fill that, I mean, it's just like what we did with Glenda when we actually had a real live person to interact with, to provide us with. Now it has a basis in reality.
Yeah, it made it more real. It just made it more believable because you made the emotion and the history of you and this person real. You know what I'm saying?
How are you going to show any real emotions over nothing? Like, if without a genuine object of a container in which to put all this.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Acting. Not being believable.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You want the acting stuff to not appear. You want the acting to be invisible.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is somebody struggling towards like an objective and accomplish, and they're it's just, you got to look at what they're doing and the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that there's so much in that, and that's almost every actor can do that too. Yeah. It's not just what brilliant actors do.
No,
every actor
can
do these
it.
things that you're talking
and
about.
All you got to do is just step into it and start practicing it, and you can become it. My last tip for them is start the scene before it starts. I want to read this one. Don't enter cold. Come in with an emotional state, intention, or energy that makes it feel like life was happening before you walked in the room.
Can I give you mine?
Yeah.
Jump up and down. Do some push-ups.
Yeah.
Run around. Get your heart going.
Yeah.
Get your breath going. Get your blood pumping.
Yeah.
And then do the scene.
That's
and
good.
all you have to do is that. And so if I ever had young actors who were struggling with something, let's say that there were two actors who were struggling to connect in this scene, I would say, you two go run around the building and come right back and then jump in and do the scene as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
And we do that as a rehearsal. You don't need to do that every single time you do a take.
Right.
You, like that. That's not the point. But like, those people come in, and their blood is hot, their focus is on each other, their breath is going, and everything was there. And I said, well, okay, so all right. So now we check in. How do you feel? Mm-hmm. Where do you feel these things? Just pay attention to these things. And the next time I see those people doing that same thing, they have grown, and they know how to get into that mode now naturally.
See, and that's what it's a technique that works because it's real life, and it teaches us real life and how to go out there and be real on camera, and that is a beautiful thing. So y'all hearing this, do some push-ups before you just walk on. I don't care if you put your stuff in there.
It's not emotional manipulation on my part. I'm not telling you need to,
right.
I don't need to like shake them into because people struggle because maybe they haven't had this experience before.
That's true. A lot of times when you get a scene or a breakdown or whatever, it might be totally out of something, like you said, you ever experienced. Yeah. Like, what if your character is in outer space fighting aliens? Have you ever been in outer space? Have you ever seen an alien? No. You know what I'm saying?
Try.
Right.
Start working at it.
Working at it.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Start getting into that and understanding. And I think physical preparation for that is going to be, because obviously that person is not you. They're not having your experience. But by the time you put the physical preparations in, and you put your whole, if you've built that into the character over time, and you've put that kind of time in and day out, by the time you receive the audition notice to the time you shoot and all the way through it, you need to be working every single day.
People sleep on preparation. You can, people are like, well, you don't want to be over prepared. I've never met anybody over prepared for anything. Like, you can prepare, you could be so ready that even when something happens that you didn't prepare for, you've already got so much in the bag where you can pull out and be like, you know what, I prepared for this just in case.
It's like Olympic athletes. I mean, they prepare right up to the last minute.
Yep.
And like it's actually quite like that.
Or fighters when they got to make weight.
Yeah.
They'll stay up all night trying to lose water weight.
Yeah.
Right before the day before the fight, the day before weight, just so they would, because I think if you're a certain amount of pounds over in whatever weight class, you lose like a certain amount of money. So they're like, these 2-3 pounds got to go. You know what I mean? So it's like it's an ongoing. If we approach it as actors like that, I'm telling you that we would absolutely, absolutely grow. Barton, let me tell you, you threw out some nuggets today, and I'm so glad that you came on here today. I do have. Well, let's do this. Let's get to the comments because I love this. This is a new feature for me, y'all. So Peaches, I always say this. 2 episodes ago, I was like, I need to see the comments, and I went to go to my phone, and she was like, it's on the screen. So now I get really excited about the comments. Do I read Spanish? No.
I know a little.
Oh gosh, should we read it out loud if we don't know what they're saying? Let's try it. Let's
Do you want
see.
me to read it? Do you read Spanish?
No, I don't. Hola, hi. That's it.
Soy española y tengo 65 años. She's 65 years old. This maybe we can ask them to follow up with a question about acting. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because I'm not sure what their question is, but
we don't know what their question is.
Yeah.
Okay, but that is cool. Barton is also a double agent. So he can do different bilingual. Okay, so Frank says, love the new setup. Thank you, Frank. Frank followed me on Instagram, and now he's coming on over here. I appreciate you, man. Who else we got here? Tamashian, step outside of the box. Thank you, Tamashian. Also a director and filmmaker.
break the box.
That's okay. So just a couple comments. I wanted to check those out.
Yeah.
But this has been good. I got a question for you, and everybody that's watching, I got a little something special for you at the end. So stick around. We were right there at the end. Barton, if you weren't, let's say, never touch acting, nothing. If you wasn't doing this, what would Barton do?
I would be teaching, which is a thing I feel like I'm equally passionate about with everything. I didn't want to be a teacher in the public schools. I learned that. But I wanted to be a teacher in other ways. And so all throughout, I've just continued coaching, and I've taught in a lot. And as a result, I've taught in all these great situations. And I don't know exactly what the subject would be, but I would still find that great. If I was teaching English, if I was an art teacher or a shop teacher, or if I followed another one of my passions to the extent that I would be teaching it. But with acting, the truth is, man, I mean, I'm not going to be doing this forever.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I'm getting an advanced degree and the reason I'm going to be doing things is because I want to, at this point, teach as much as I can and give back as much as I've been given.
Okay. I love it. And I can see that for you. But again, Barton, you're going to do great things in this film industry. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to let Barton sit there.
I love the industry so much that I never, ever want to leave it.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Like there's no...
That's what I wanted to
I have never not wanted to do this.
Yeah.
There's not a time since I was a tiny...
I took a break, man. I took a break and was miserable.
What did you try and do? Why'd you have to break?
I felt like everything was coming at me at one time. Just life, not booking, and I was like really trying to do a lot of stage, and then it was like that's too much. It was just a lot. So I said I took about a year off. It wasn't supposed to be a year. It was supposed to be like a few months, but it ended up being a year. And I was just like, yeah, nah, this ain't that.
But if you come back, you have to do it in the way that you can't give your time to projects that waste your time anymore. Nope. You can't give, because
it'll drain you and it'll make you frustrated with the passion that God gave you, because you're doing stuff that you're trying to make people be as passionate about you, but they're not.
You want to find other people who are just as into it as you are. And I think that striving throughout life to find those people and to keep these, I consider them artistic partnerships that are a bond between people that is unlike any other. And I'm lucky that I now get to do a few creative projects once in a while with my own children. Yeah, I've gotten to, I got to bond with, I've gotten to do projects with people that I love. Yeah. And also find wonderful people. And so, I guess what feeds me and what keeps me going is that it's endless. And this is the key to working in this industry. It's relationships. Yep. It is in the way that if you're, I know a lot of young people who are they're kind of convinced that it's not that important, and that relating to other people and making small talk and passing the time and getting to know people, it's so vitally important. It's important.
The old saying is, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And that's just the truth.
The way that you know them.
Yeah, the way that
It's
you
the
know
way
them.
that you know, and it's the way that they know you.
Yeah.
Too, and so you'd be surprised. I mean, like, you know, if you've ever run into somebody, maybe you meet them for the first time, but they know who you are.
Yeah.
And something, and then they know somebody. You know, somebody has. Think of how important that is, and
Yeah.
it's actually all that we have. Because you might be completely brilliant. We hear about these people; they're fantastic actors. I know some actors who are 10 times what I am.
Yeah.
But they are a little shy.
Yep.
And they're a little bit, or they're they have. It is a big mistake, and no actor has the right to impede on anybody else's process. No, that nobody else you cannot use a minute of anybody else's time.
Right.
Like, you are not the focus. Like, I'm so sorry.
No,
but
it's
like,
true.
And the higher and higher you go throughout the industry, it becomes more true.
Yep.
You'll never be Ryan Gosling. Even Ryan Gosling, you know, at the center of like The Fall Guy, and I looked at that and I'm like, this is a big show that's built around this great actor. I'm really happy for this guy. I believed in him all the way along. I remember the old school. And then here he is, and he's in the middle of this giant, but yet at the same time, he is not stealing the scene.
Yeah.
He gives it up, and I'm like, that is the attitude.
It's almost more so about who plays his girlfriend in that.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Is in that.
Emily Blunt. When Emily Blunt, it's almost like the movie is about her as a writer.
And when they're together, they just give to each other, and that is like actually the
I call it the
thing.
perfect dance. It's when you share the moments with each other as actors, not like you were saying earlier, like bulldogging it and all. It's not that. It's us sharing. The most memorable moments in acting comes when actors just, hey, let's just have the moment together. You know what I mean? So I think if actors do that more and more,
seek it out.
Oh man,
you actually, that's what you're actually going for.
Yeah.
And a director wants that to happen. And so don't play scenes just to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't play scenes lost in thought, and don't look at, there's a thing that I've noticed a lot of people doing lately that I want to caution people about, which is they're in the middle of a scene and they kind of like look off. They look elsewhere as though they're thinking about their phone, or like picking up their phone and checking in with their network, not real life, but elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so, and even when you watch a period drama, it's really funny. And I have to tell everybody this. I'm like, you have to act as though you've never seen a cell phone before. So sorry, you've never seen one before.
Right.
You can't think about it.
Right.
So what that does instead is like take that away, and now people really focus on each other.
I call it unintentional action. Like, what was that look off for? If it's for a reason, because something is about to happen, it's a setup, I'm setting you up in this scene, I'm looking back to say, come get them, cool. But if that look off is just a look off for no reason, most times it's because somebody forgot their lines. You know what I'm saying? Or they forgot.
Takes us out.
Yeah, you move because now as an audience member, I'm watching like, well, what was over there? Like, what just happened?
Looked away to avoid emotion.
Yeah.
That's what they just looked away from. They were like about to feel something, and they were like pulling away from that very, very.
And
like,
people don't even know that we subconsciously do things like that.
But if you do that in your life, you probably wind up going to instinctually do that up there, and it's going to not. Unfortunately, what you learn from being a young actor. I mean, young actors need to practice like all the expressive tools of acting, but they may not even know how to do all these things until much, much later.
Yeah, because I mean, think about us. We learned everything that we've learned as we went.
Well, we're better now.
Well, yeah,
I'm certain that I am better as an actor.
Yeah.
I may have been I may have been a better singer in college, but I'm a better actor now.
Yeah,
and because I'm just I've lived. And that's what we actually bring to it. You know, like, no, we're not going to be the star. Like, we're not. Those stars are special, otherworldly people.
Yeah.
What we usually get cast as a day player or as a supporting player, we usually do is we're the person standing next to the big star, and we're as real as we can possibly be with them.
Yeah.
So that they can go and do the wild thing that they do, but we stay real, and as a result, the whole project has a real texture to it because we were there being a real person.
Yeah. We helped them set up the moment that they were leading to. You know what I'm saying? And certain, you have to be okay with where you are in your career too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be okay with that, and then you can grow from there and really have a successful career. Like, if you're okay with, once you get okay with those things. But some of the stuff you learn on the way, but people stop skipping step 1 and going to step 6 and being like, oh, well, I didn't know. Well, yeah, because you literally skipped that step. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you did that on purpose. You said, I got to go 3, 4, 5, then 6.
The duration of time is what I think about.
Yeah.
Is that if you jumped ahead into next week because you just want to be there, you want to just be there.
Yeah.
Your mind is there. No, you actually have to be here, and the future is actually doesn't exist.
Yeah.
All we have is this here
Right now.
And so the moment that you have and the way that you the impulse, if you follow the impulses as you feel them, as you're developing characters,
Yeah.
you need to have some way of hanging on to that. But
Yeah.
it builds cumulatively up as you go, so that by the time you arrive with this character, the character is actually now become as real as, for the audience, it's as real as anybody else.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal growth that is necessary, but you won't get there any other way. I'm sorry.
My dad would always say things like, there's people that jumped up and there's people that grew up.
Now, you should also know the right steps. Like, you shouldn't get
Oh, yeah,
bogged down.
yeah, no.
You need to get past step 2 and step on.
When I say jump, when my dad would say jump up or grow up, right? When you grow up, you literally grow. Like, I can't knock your legs from under you because you have a foundation, right? But if you jump up, you jump up. But like gravity, you got to come back down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's best to grow up and take your time.
That's very wise.
You know what I mean? Do the right steps. Like, make sure you're taking the right steps, because everybody got their own ideas of what the
people
steps
can
are.
wind up spending years training on going in the wrong direction. It's like you can be way off course.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like the difference between it's one path or another, I swear. So there are a lot of people who have probably spent too much time still bogged down in 20th century acting methods, like the method, and they haven't paid attention to actually what's going on
That's
now.
changed, man.
It's a completely different art form.
It's so different. I can't remember who I heard said this, but he was like, I don't get caught up in methods. He said, my method is a bunch of different methods put into one thing. And then he said that method might have just worked for that particular character and project. The next one, I probably won't even deliver it. What was his name? Venom. He played Venom.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Tom Hardy was saying this, and he was saying how he said, I don't do the method thing because the method that worked for this is not going to work for this. It's not going to work for that.
He's adaptable.
He's adaptable.
And so, if your soul is always in transformation as an actor,
Yeah.
you are changing probably faster than other people do, because you have to adapt to these other strangers who come into your life. That you are going to be embodying. And but again, I think that so many experiences come, and I think you don't want to psychologically manipulate yourself or others to achieve this result.
Right.
The emotion and the psychological intensity comes anyway. I think what most people should be doing is really, really getting their voice and body strong. And learning, like, how to use your voice effectively, and that comes through practice. And every movie star that you admire, they not only have a beautiful face and you love, and they do all these great, they make good choices, but their voice, it is true among every movie star I can think of. Their voice is remarkable.
And they train. You got very few super Hollywood stars who are just like, oh, I saw them at a bar and they became a star
There's
later.
some raw guys.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, people are training. Even those guys that are or gals that got picked up out of just raw skill, at some point in their career, they get training.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have to for even Tom Hardy, he had to learn to be adaptable. You get what I'm saying? You're not just adaptable. I mean, even if it is a raw thing, you still got to learn how to harness that thing. You know what I mean? So that's just very important. I do have something for the viewers to watch. I want y'all to check this out. I've been talking about this film, and it's finally coming this year. It's making its festival runs, especially with Halloween and fall, all these things around the corner. It's the movie called The Rose, and I star in this as the main villain, and it's different because I'm always a good guy.
Yeah, you're so nice.
That's what they say. My mom doesn't think I'm that nice, but no. So, and I love this character.
You get to do a different side. Don't do too many villains.
No, I won't, because I don't want to get I don't want to get typecast. But this one right here, man, I love this, and I want you all to check this trailer out that I have for you. It just came out today, and I said I'm sharing it with my people. So check out The Rose right now.
far you run, you'll never get out of the corn. You'll never get out of the corn.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It looks terrifying.
That's the rose.
Really intense.
That's definitely
Wow.
me in the mask there yelling, "You'll never get out of the corn." So it was a good time.
So where's
man.
that? Where's this character come from?
Honestly, in the beginning of my career, I always, like when I was doing church plays and stage plays, I was always the bad guy. So
Me too.
that's how I started. You know what I mean? I didn't want to get stuck as that guy. So that's when I started switching up the roles that I wanted and everything like that. But every now and again, I get to go back and revisit that.
Oh, good. Yeah. Every once in a while, probably every 3 or 4, you should switch it up.
Yeah,
And do
just
something
a little
different.
bit. Just let them know that,
Yeah.
but I like it. It's different. It's a sci-fi horror thriller, so it's just different. You know what
But
I
I
mean?
said, like, I played this racist cop in the movie Detroit, and I said, okay, I've done that once, and never need to
Never
do it
need to do
again.
it again.
Because, like, that'll be, like, all people ever think
And
of.
you don't want to get typecast as that guy every single
No, there's some
time.
people I know who that's all they do, and I'm
And-
like, don't
and-
keep doing it. It's 'cause you always
They
say
believe
yes.
that's you all the
Right,
time.
right, that's all you got now.
The human mind is amazing.
That's
to
funny.
me. It's amazing to me. But I do appreciate like just all of it, the acting and all of it, and the ones that came before us. You know what I mean? And like shows
yeah.
that we watched and other actors that we watched, man. And speaking of actors that kind of hit the screen before us, man. I didn't want to get off of here and not talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner.
I
And
just
his
learned about
passing,
him.
it was very sad. From what I hear, it was an accidental drowning. So we want to keep his family in prayer and everything, and we just want to remember him and remember his family as they,
Do you
will all
remember
that stuff.
that amazing young man? When I saw that he had passed, I'm like, I remember him so vividly.
It's what
I thought I was him. I related to him.
Everybody did. Everybody
You know?
wanted to be him, be
Yeah.
that kid, and then grow up in that type of household with that type of
Oh, yeah.
family, with those type of situations. And for a lot of people, like, you read the comments and people were saying things like, I felt like I lost my cousin or my TV brother, or you know what I mean. And it's because we literally grew up with him. And I think one of the last things he was on was with Morris Chestnut on the show. He played the doctor on, and it's a good show. It was a good show. I don't think they finished all the seasons, but outside of that, man, he left a legacy as far as the film and TV, and it was a real blessing, a real good actor. But that man also had family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was only 54 years
only
old, and that freaked
54.
me out.
Yeah, so when I heard about it, I said, "Wow, life is short. It's short." So just remember him and his family in prayers. You know what I mean? And
But he gave us the world during
gave us
his life.
everything.
He seriously, like,
Yeah.
wow. I never would have thought about it, but I'm like, wow, like it really hit me hard when I read that.
yeah, it always is hard when people that you've seen on TV all your life, they leave, and we know we don't know him personally, but it's just like he helped us get through some of our teen years and some of our situations. You know what I mean? Because that's what TV does. You know what I mean? It is a bit of a coming of age thing, and you walk with it. And I appreciate him in all his work and everything that he's done.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to remember him and his family in prayers. Do not forget about Malcolm Jamal Warner and everything he's done for the film industry, but just for the world as well. So thank you again, Barton, for being on the show,
such a
man.
pleasure.
We had a good time. We
Yeah.
had such a good time. Go check out Glenda on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you can go to
or
glendamovie.com.
There we go.
And, I want to mention this other film thank you. A film I'm very, very proud of called The Dunes that is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's a Michigan-made film, and it came out, I think, 2019, and it's just one of these that I'm especially proud of.
Yeah.
And it's, because I got to do the psycho role, and I got to do some of those things.
Ooh, I could see you doing the cycle.
Yeah, well, I got to grow from a pretty normal guy who gets kind of just triggered again and again and again and goes pretty quickly over it. But it's funny, we all have that capability in ourselves. Somehow we have something to draw upon. Yeah. I said to myself, I'm not a villain. The whole time I said, I'm not, no, I understand what this guy is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I had judged him from the beginning, it wouldn't have been right. And I'm sure even you have carried cornfield bag over your head.
Say, hey, I'm doing my job. This is what I'm doing. I'm not the bad guy.
that you had to serve.
Come on.
And also, you have to be you wouldn't get a real psycho to play a psycho. You need a real nice guy to come in.
You're right. You don't want a real psycho
you know,
psychoing around.
No, you really, really don't. So the only way that you can actually get to do those fun things is probably by being the nice guy that you are. So
yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff. So y'all go check out everything that Barton has going on, man. I appreciate you again being on the show.
Thanks, man.
And go check out everything. Y'all know I don't want to learn off the list of all my movies. Y'all been following me. Check out the YouTube page too. It's really good. It's growing. It's doing great. And I also want you to check out our Facebook page. That is Monologue Monday's actual Facebook page. And let's grow that thing and let's keep growing and doing great things. I like to say this because I always say it in the great words of Denzel Washington. I'll see you at work.